able to hear and also see. Welcome, Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. And yeah, let's dive in. I'm going to give you all a, well, we have some Phantoms in here already. Welcome. And then, if you're not an already member of Phantoms, this will be a 1 hour gig here where I'll go through some pre-market routine, or some of the things that we look at pre-market routine before the market opens. And then I'll take valid setups as I see fit. If I see any setups, I will get disoriented. I've noticed that it's kind of quicker here. I'm gonna start sharing my screen on YouTube, so this will get a lot more better with time here. So I appreciate the patience. Hey, what's going on, Eric A, my man? Good to see you. Yeah, make sure you take profit on Tesla, Eric A, if you're still in it. Hopefully you are. All right, this is annoying, right? Hey, Jackie, good morning. You as well, Jackie, Tesla, if you're still in it. All right, I think that's the best I'm gonna get it for right now. Oh, and I just messed it up. All right, yeah, this is definitely annoying. All right, let's dive in. All right, it's going to be more, I would say, futures and options based for right now on this. For today. And there we go, that's what I got for you. Okay, cool, so Mr. Blue here, as they call me, TradePhantoms.com. Pre-market routine, let's dive in. I always kind of bring this up every day just to kind of acclimate, the backdrop of Phantoms is institutional order flow, demand and supply, beginning with what's called the top-down approach, which is going to be focusing on the higher time frames and then drilling down to the smaller time frames. So we use multiple time frame analysis as always, right? Here's a checklist that I kind of give to the members with the team. And it just kind of asks a couple of questions here, monthly, weekly, daily wise on the higher time frames, top down. What's the structure, location, things of that nature, right? So I'm not going to read everything here, but this is super important. I kind of bring this up every day. This is a quick reminder. We got a couple of candlesticks here. Location being most important for bullish. Okay, bullish candlesticks. Okay, off monthly, weekly, daily, and then we drill down to the small time frames. We also have the bearish candlesticks here in addition to that. All right, location being most important, and then kind of the way that I've been trained out there in New York is kind of liquidity style, market maker style of trade, and we reference this this liquidity map, as we kind of call it, time and price, knowing what side to be on, get on the right side and ride, and understanding when to buy, when to sell, when to buy to enter, when to sell to exit, when to sell short to enter, when to buy to cover to exit. So we discussed that a lot in more detail. Let's dive into the charts, which I will do right now. I will switch over here to Think or Swim. And I will put the major for indexes for futures right now. So albeit we start with the higher time frames being monthly, weekly, daily, you'll see just really quickly here, I have the everything on the daily time frame. I have the S&P futures, S&P futures upper left, NASDAQ upper right, Dow Jones lower left, Russell 2000 bottom right. I'm gonna open up the S&P futures here on the daily time frame and just keep it short and sweet because it's pretty quiet this week, by the way. It's fairly quiet. We do have a couple of, we do have a lot of Fed members speaking this week after last week's Fed announcement. Or 2 weeks ago Fed announcement, I should say. Or last week's Fed announcement, I don't know the deal already, but that's already gone. So we have nothing too crazy here. I will make a note. You should make a note here for today being Tuesday, September 24th, which I usually time and stamp as well, by the way. Today is September 24th, 2024. That being said, today we do have a news print coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, be consumer confidence. So that is, it has to do with consumer spending and confidence. So that has to deal with inflation. So is it a major news? It's not. It's super major, but it is, noteworthy with a decent high impact here today. So make sure that if you're trading the open from 9:30 to 10 a.m., maybe tighten up. Just make sure that you get that news announcement coming out. If you get some trades and some risk on, just make sure you're courteous of what's being on, right? Usually, I in the live trade room, I go all the way through. Sometimes trade all day with the folks, but I only have an hour designation on here today. So the reason why I say that is because typically this ends about 9:45-ish a.m. Eastern. So that'll be before that news announcement. So I'll try to remind ourselves to tighten up before this session ends. Okay. Tomorrow completely dry. We got crude oil inventories, and Thursday in the U.S. nothing too much. We do have Fed chair file speaking as well tomorrow, and then we have unemployment claims, which is a big one there as well. Okay, GDP, and then Friday is pretty quiet. We got core PCE. So we got a couple things this week that could be used as a catalyst. So just make sure that you are aware of that. I'll get to the SPY chart in a moment. Now getting back over here to the S&P futures. S&P futures on a daily time frame. Okay, all-time highs. Okay, S&P's all-time highs. Right. So it's funny. Well, I'll leave that for tomorrow, but for the trade group. But long story short, here today, the past couple of days after 919's bar, which is Thursday, okay, Thursday's bar, which is right here, we've been just kind of like floating sideways here, okay, on the S&P futures. So as I mentioned, there's not really much of a catalyst. Okay, the Fed's already out. Things like that options expiration last month's already passed, so things rolled over into the October, November, December's. Okay, in terms of options, the point that I'm trying to make here is we just have this kind of upper high base standing up here on the upper third range of last Thursday's bar being 919. Okay, so we have that's basically what it is, just a kind of quiet kind of consolidation market right now for the past couple of days. Okay, so that being said, I could say that as well for NASDAQ. Okay, now NASDAQ has been grinding higher. I had mentioned that right above this level, there's probably going to be some liquidity sweeping, okay, as it happened. Okay, we broke this level, but we couldn't really close above this level. Okay, we do have a basing here. We have a basing here in NASDAQ as well. You'll notice in a moment on the darker background, you'll see a couple of levels in terms of pricings, which I'll give you. Okay, but this could be a basing break. Okay, this is a pretty decent critical level in the NASDAQ. This is NASDAQ futures, by the way, daily time frame. Okay, we had this like shelf kind of here, right? This level of supply here got tested here. We talked about that 20,000 handle, weeks ago, or last month, I should say. Worked out very well. Okay, provided that pullback. Okay, for us, and then we have inside bar. Then the Fed came out, changed this market right back bullish, right? And as I mentioned real quick, I can probably say less here by just illustrating this picture here, which I've kept on for illustration purposes, so you guys can see not a lot of words, but illustration-wise as well. And you can see we're still kind of hanging out like right here, right? Let me just make this one a different color here, so that you can distinguish the difference. All right, we were kind of talking about this for quite some time now. Okay, where we had this, the drop, okay, the dip right here, and then we have the pullback. So this could be that right shoulder here, okay, getting put in, right, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and if we snap this, Qs could be potentially joining the party here with potentially making closer to all-time highs. Okay, the FANG, the Magnificent Seven. Index, right, it's actually starting to pick up some steam here. So the market broadened out. Okay, the SPX equally weighted is doing very well. So the market's broadening out. And if FANG, I had mentioned a couple weeks ago, if FANG starts to catch some bids, and FANG is also now, picking up its footing and strength along with the broad market. All right, because what's making the S&Ps go to all-time highs is not the Magnificent Seven. Okay, typically that's not the case. Okay, for the past I'd say most a year and a half, it's all about the Mag 7, right? Every other stock was not doing, it was doing okay. But now, now the Mag 7 is starting to play ball again, and that is going to be a sign of strength along with this market that's already broadening up. In English, what does that mean? The bears are having a hard time right now. The bearishness. Okay, bearish traders. So they're just continuing to get puked out right now. Okay, I got a couple of things that I want to discuss tomorrow morning with the group when I have more time, due time. Okay, but I'll leave it there for right now. So the point that I'm trying to make is this level right here, and the Nasdaq, which is we are right here, is going to be a critical level here, because if this gives out, okay, if this gives out, basically the next stop in QQQs, okay, Nasdaq is going to be testing or visiting or flirting with all-time highs. Okay, so that wouldn't surprise me one bit. Okay, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. Just make that red. All right. And, do I want to sell short the all-time highs? Probably not, okay, because we could probably just make an all-time high, grind higher, grind higher, grind higher. Okay, I'm expecting some kind of pullback in October. More on that tomorrow with the Phantoms group. Okay, but yeah, we could potentially break this neck, and as I just drew right there, we can potentially test the all-time highs. Okay. So it'll be pretty interesting over the next week or two to close up the month of September. Okay, as always, I'm going to study some options, open interest as well in QQQs, and I'll leave that for the group tomorrow when I just have more time. Okay, when I just have more time with the group here. Okay, so again, same thing here, basing right off of the off of Thursday's bar here, basing. Okay, and then I'm not much of a Dow Jones guy. I do like small caps, Russell 2000. I'm more of an S&P lover. I love S&P, specialist in S&P. I was a specialist all my career in the S&P, and I love me some Nasdaq, of course, as well. I'm not much of a Dow Jones guy. I do love me some small caps as well, but they're challenging to trade sometimes, right? Even right now with the rates being cut, small caps should be outperforming. It's been years now that this thing has just not really been following through. So it's been quite frustrating, all right? But it is what it is. There's other opportunity around the marketplace: gold, okay, oil, Bitcoin, right, crypto, and S&Ps and Nasdaq. So if a market's not playing ball and following through with the strategy, don't trade it. So I love me some small caps here and there, but it's just not, it's grindy. It's grindy right now. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over into the monthly, weekly, daily here. So again, think or swim here. I always start off monthly, weekly, daily. Does not matter if I'm taking a long-term trade, swing trade, day trade. I'm always orienting myself on the higher time frames. I just switched over into the S&P futures. Okay, now I'm going to drill down though. Okay, so I got the monthly, I got the weekly, I got the daily. Okay, and then I'm going to drill down to what's going on, Jose Franco. I'm going to have the S&P, S&P futures, yes. I have the 60-minute time frame on the upper left here. I have the 30-minute time frame here, lower left. I have the 5-minute here, and I have the 2-minute time frame here on the right, just to kind of give you the lay of the land. I'm going to open up the 60-minute time frame here, and one of the first things that we want to do, okay, that is extremely powerful, is map out what's called our Globex traps, or in short, we can map out what's called a Globex high, which is up here, represented by this blue line, and thinkorswim highlights the overnight session in gray. So you can see the S&P futures made an overnight high up here at call it 57.90, 3.75 or 94, just rounding up. It could be a tick or two off. Just check that in your platform. Globex low, right here. Okay, right now as it stands, 62, 63s. Okay, 57, 63s, give or take. It might be a tick or two off. Check that. Okay, and then the setup is, okay, if in the event that we break Globex low, do I have a high quality level of institutional order flow of demand? Okay, unfilled orders, right? And if I look down to the left, okay, you can see there's a lot of lines here. This was a trade that we had taken. Last Friday, I believe, right? Last Friday, yeah, last Friday was we had a Globex trap IBI right here that came in at 57.38. Okay, now that's already been tested. All right, I'm going to clean this up a little bit here because y'all might not be able to see that now. Okay, so this was the entries that we had, and we took profit. It was a nice little trade there. All right, it was good. All right, I'm just going to clean this up a bit here. All right, and then I'm still going to reference this area here, the 57.38. Okay, now there's a notation here that I would add and some limitations to this as well, because this is not a what's called prime or fresh level. Okay, it's been tested right here. Specifically what I'm looking at is this level right over here, this IBI to the left, impulse, basing impulse. Okay, so that's the level here to the left. The reason why I bring this up is because this level is not prime or fresh now any longer. Okay, so therefore, meaning that we touched it right here. Okay, so that absorbed some demand that's in this level. Okay, but I will still reference this level because we just dipped in here and rallied out. Now we could come a little bit more lower, deeper into this level. All right, but I'm just going to put an asterisk on this now and just say that yes, it's demand, and we could do a Globex trap for bullishness. But I'm going to put an asterisk. This is just going to be a bit more aggressive because it's not prime or fresh. Okay, we have a scoring process. when you go through the phantoms and become a phantom, we have a scoring process that allows you to know how strong or not strong, lack of strength, a level is, a level of demand in this particular case, level of demand. We also do that for level of supply as well. Okay, so I just put an asterisk on that just to kind of illustrate that it's a bit more aggressive just because of the test that we've had here. Okay, which we caught, by the way, which is good. Okay, anything lower than that, you can pin 5707 down in here as well. These levels were kind of developed overnight, so just be cautious with that as well. We do have another level around here, 5680 down in here. Now that is not, this is not prime as well. This is a G-trap long bullish, yes. However, this deserves another asterisk here to illustrate that this could be aggressive as well. Okay. Now we are in a bull market, right? If you are still denying that we are in a bull market, I can't help you there. Okay, I can't help you there. Okay, markets are at all-time highs. Stocks are roaring right now. All right, so you know, a lot of people are calling for crashes and things like that. And you know, honestly, when the public thinks that market's going to do one thing, it typically does the other thing. So the fact that a lot of public right now is saying that this market's going to crash and we're going to have a crash worse than 2008 is signaling to me that this market's just going to probably continue to grind new highs. Okay, we're probably going to be finishing September strong, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. I would have more time. In short, 5738. Put an asterisk on that, not prime. Okay, and then we have 5707. Okay, down in here, and that would be fairly decent as well for a demand zone to work off of. It's not the greatest level in the world. Okay, and then we have 5680. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mariani. What's the point? Yeah. Why? we're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend. You know, we stress a lot. I don't want to go on a side rant right now, a side field trip, but trade the tape, trade the price action. All right. Don't trade your thoughts and your feelings. People are often wrong in what they think the market is going to do. I don't think I trade and execute a strategy, a setup, and a pretty simple one. And with that as well. All right, survive very long in this business just by keeping it super, super simple. Okay. Anyways, I digress. Let's move on. Okay. Got those levels there. And am I going to even waste time looking at a level of supply? No, there's no level of supply to the upper left. So why? All right, could this market correct and come down lower? Yes, absolutely. Okay, but there's no objective level of supply to lean against. Okay, Nasdaq does have some kind of level, at least at a minimum, to lean against. Okay, so that being said, we are on Nasdaq. And if I just map out our Globex high, Globex low, which is here and here, represented by these blue lines over here. And, you know, same thing, we had levels over here. This one was pretty decent. I didn't even put a number on that. We had this level right here that worked out beautifully on Friday. Okay, I was focusing more on the S&Ps. Okay, so that came in at 19,980. Okay, I'm sorry, 19,880. Now, I'll keep that as demand, but I'm not going to explain as much because it's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to put an asterisk for aggressive here because it's not prime. It's not fresh. Okay. Now we can still lean against it because it just dipped in and rallied out. And again, bull market. Okay, think of gold, right? Bull market. Even sometimes the not greatest levels of demand just kind of worked out just because of the macro picture being up. Okay. So again, I would still reference this 19,880 down into 19, call it 830. And this would be a decent little level for a Globex trap long. Just make sure you update your notation for aggressive because we have that test right in here. So this was the original IBI, okay, right in here to the left. All right, so on the left here, this is the original impulse that popped out into a new high, okay? So very meticulous on the certain levels, okay? There's a lot of levels in the price chart, but which ones are the proper ones institutional-wise, okay? All right, this popped out that new high. This was the basing popped out. So that tells me that this institutional levels there, which is why first time back typically is going to be the highest probability for a move up. So point being, we're not first time back here. Okay, so we could come a little bit more lower, 19,735 in the event that we come lower. Okay, 19,735 right there. Then I also have that 19,530 down in here, very similar to the S&Ps, where this could be another aggressive one down here. It's not fresh. or prime, as we had a couple of tests down in here. But there's some regular trading hours lows down in here. I think it was like last Wednesday's low or something like that as well down in here. Okay, so 19,530s would be the area there. Okay, but we would have to cross and absorb this level first, this level second, and then get down into that area there. Okay. That being said, we could break higher up in here. So we have 20,345. So if you're long, I would be making sure that you're taking profit up into this area here. Okay. For short, I probably want to get a little more higher up here, 20,450. Okay. There's a decent little supply level up here, and that on the Qs, which is maybe a little more cleaner, would also be a gap fill. So you might want to pin this on your chart. On Qs, there's a unfilled gap right up here. See this gap over here to the left? Okay, so you might want to just put a pin on that. That comes in about roughly 496.30s. All right, so I'd want to use this as confluence for futures as well. Okay. All right, and that date is July 16th. All right, so July 16th, and you can see July 16th right there, okay, on futures. So there's a nice little, supply zone here. All right. Now, again, if I'm long, this is where, I don't have enough time right now to talk about liquidity, but if you're long, make sure you just realizing gains, taking profit, taking profit, taking profit, taking profit. Okay, and if I were too short, okay, I would want it to be somewhat stretched up here, coming into the supply zone. Okay, do what's called a front side entry in here, and then take it back down into a mean reversion. Okay, now I'm not saying that this is going to be the all-time high where you're going to be shorting and put this on and leave it on for Santa Claus in December to come to town to finish off the year. Okay, but this is going to be a reference point here to, again, like I said, if we let go of this level, then we're probably going to be kissing and touching all-time highs and NASDAQ. Okay, so trade diligently up here. Okay, again, like I said, I'd rather be long, taking profit, selling the exit first, and then if I wanted to elect to potentially take a short, at least I have a level of supply gap fill up here on the QQQs as well, to lean against for that short. Okay, but if we come up here and we revert back into the mean, I want to be taking profits on those shorts, right? So sell high, buy to cover lower. Okay, for some of my advanced folks in here, we do have a bottoming tail potentially putting inside bar break right now on NASDAQ. As we speak right now. So actually this could be a decent one here to get. Which one is stronger here today? What's the stronger one usually? I'm making note of that. Oops. Well, small cap's a little bit more stronger, but NASDAQ is second strongest. Just for the major four indexes. So NASDAQ is actually giving us a bit of a opportunity right now. This is not closed yet. I'd want to see this close here. All right, so let me see. 10 o'clock would be the latest close, which is going to be too late on that. So we can go down to 30. So yeah, this is a decent little area here where, or candle formation, I should say, which could be interesting here for, now we're in the middle of Globex range, so it's not ideal. It's not the super greatest setup, but it's giving us something here. It's not closed yet. It's called a positive COG with a hammer bar right here, hammer bar. So this above VWAP and the rising 20, rising 50. So this is a decent little setup if you wanted to work on this. Oops. All right, I'm gonna put my stop loss below this pivot right here. So if you were to get long NASDAQ futures, stop loss would be here. Call it 20,082. All right, NASDAQ futures. All right, if you get long right now, have a positive COG. Okay, you could do the math on that. Make sure you're doing the math on this. All right, we'd have to clear this level here. All right, this is a very small time frame, but we have the hammer bar. This is all wick and hammer bar on the 60-minute time frame. Okay, so we're trying to do some action here. Now, a couple things, if that zone is a little bit wide for you, what you could do, if you don't want to get long right here as a market order. what you could do here is put limit orders to potentially fill in the event that we get pullbacks down in here. Okay, so call it 20,000, 20,120. $20,120. Basically 110. The lowest I'd go with would be this right here, 20,100. So every 10. So you could kind of choose your risk there. Okay. To see if we can lean against this, lean against VWAP in that hammer bar on the 60-minute time frame. Okay. All right, so 20,120, 20,110, and then we got 20,100. Okay, those could be potential limits. Okay, makes sense? All right, and target on that would be, equal to high first. Okay, so it looks like 1-to-1 up here into the Globex high, and then in the event that we break new highs potentially today, I'd be having into a take profit campaign up here. Okay. I'm going to move on. A lot of things to cover here. Gold. Gold all-time highs, great. Monthly, weekly, daily, up. So just be careful. We're on highs. We're on highs. Be very diligent here. Okay, we could just correct. We can correct to pick up more buyers. Okay, Globex high here, pretty low range, pretty tight range. Globex low here. Here's the good news. Beautiful. There's a beautiful level right below this. So Globex high, Globex low. If we break below Globex low, we do have these demand levels here, right? Now these are not the greatest formation-wise, and it's kind of high up here. So just be a little cautious on these levels here. Okay. Now don't get me wrong, these are levels, right? Don't get me wrong, these are levels. Are they the greatest levels in the world? I would say no, but because gold has been in just such a aligned macro bullish uptrend, everything's up, monthly, weekly, daily wise, seasonality, everything, right? So things are lining up on gold, right? So that being said, the levels don't have to be super duper high quality, because you got the power of what is this thing? You got the power of the forces to be, right, on your side. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make here is the 2620 down over here would be, and it's formed overnight, which is not ideal. But 2620 might be a decent one. We have an impulse, a basic impulse, which popped out that new high. So similar to NASDAQ, as I was mentioning here. So 2620 would be a decent one here, especially for today, if that happened today. And then we also have a couple of them down here as well. This is built on, this was developed during the regular trading hours. So 2600. Okay, that's pretty simple. Okay, 2600. I'll just put that front run 2601. And these would be areas of interest here. The ones with the green prices on it, okay, are going to be a bit more high quality, right? So 2620 and then 2600 down in here are going to be better. Okay, you can lean against these. Don't get me wrong. Okay, you can lean against these 2640s, 2630s here. Okay, because everything that I just mentioned with the macro picture forces to be on your side. Okay, but the higher quality in terms of institutional order flow is going to be more lower down here. Okay, down in here. All right. Now oil is pretty interesting as well for a couple of reasons. Right now, this is also part. Looking at the time 9:15. I'm going to get to oil futures, but when I checked about an hour ago, give or take, the energy sector was one of the stronger ones out the gate here this morning. So I got the sectors here, sector spiders, XLK all the way down to XLU, and I got the pre-market quotes pre-market quotes over here on the right, and you can see XLE is up stronger here today versus everything else so far, just for today. Now oil's been a bit more, energy has been a bit more weaker, lagger for the recent months. Okay, but today is a bit more of the stronger one out the gate. Okay, followed by XLY and builders. Okay, the point that I'm trying to make is if I go to oil futures, it's getting pretty interesting in oil. Okay, got the monthly, got the weekly, got the daily. Okay, oil dipped down low into this lower range on monthlies. This is why I was telling people, members and traders, to be careful shorting oil down here, even though it's been getting down, 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 down. Be very careful down here because monthlies has been in range for years and years and years and years and years. Long story short here, okay, we have a hammer bar from like 2 weeks ago here on the weeklies down in here, and then the dailies are just kind of grinding, right? They're just kind of grinding. You know, we just made a higher high today, and we left the first kind of lower high. I mean, I'm sorry, higher low. Okay, so oil is trying to grind its way up. Okay, and oil this morning, or energy this morning, is the higher, stronger sector. And if I look at today's bar, which already is open, okay, we're already breaking above yesterday's high, okay, which is good. Now yesterday's high was inside bar from 919, okay, last Thursday. So Thursday was the last kind of jolt day that we had, right? Meaning like prices really moved, right? And then Friday was kind of leh, and then Monday, yesterday was just kind of leh, right? Now today, that left 2 inside bars from that Thursday bar. Now we're trying to break out of that, right? We're trying to break out of that, coming from low range with oil sector trying to pick up just a little bit more steam here today. Okay, so we are in what's called a positive COG territory, and the daily is trying to rotate just a little bit. If I go to the 60-minute time frame and do our due diligence here, mapping out Globex highs, Globex lows, represented by these blue lines. Globex lows all the way down here. Okay. We can see I have this level right here, this 60-minute time frame, I'm on a 60-minute time frame now, by the way, 1 hour time frame of gold futures. I'm sorry, oil futures. We have this 72.40, 73 pinned right here with this IBI. Now this is not the greatest one in the world, right? It's not the greatest one in the world, and location-wise, it's not located great on the daily. See on the daily time frame, this on we're just like right here. Okay, we're not really inside of any structure on the daily. Okay, if I just kind of blow this up a little bit here. Okay, that little 60-minute level is right here in the context of daily time frame. So we're kind of just in the no man's land on the daily time frame. So therefore, the better one is going to be the better ones in terms of supply are going to be higher up here, because at least we have a drop, a basing, and a drop right here. Okay, which is highlighted in blue. Okay, highlighted in blue here. So 75, okay, is going to be more higher up on the curve range, if you will, in the event that we continue high, right? Now, this is going to be an area that we have to absorb. Okay, there's a little bit of a drop, a basing, and a drop right here on the 60-minute time frame. Okay, but if I were to ask you what's stronger, a daily level or a 60-minute level, 1 hour level, okay, the daily time frame is going to be a lot more stronger. So you might want to have this come up a little bit more for shorts, okay? But this could be a quick little Globex trap set up here for today. I would look for it right above 73 for a liquidity sweep. Okay, and I had mentioned, you see how I already have a note here? You might not be able to see it, but I have a note here. You might even want to put your entry where people have their stop loss at 73. So G-trap short, but you might want to even put an entry, okay, right above 73 to short, where people would have their stop losses for the supply zone, and you could be the entry while people are getting stopped out. Okay, and then breakout traders will think that, oh, here we go, we're breaking up into 74, 75. Okay, then they get liquidity trapped, and then it just corrects here. Okay, in the event that oil doesn't pump today, the wells are not pumping. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. All right, hopefully that made sense. Now, I'd rather be long going into that, right? So, and taking a profit. Now, Globex trap shorts are down here. I'm sorry, longs. Globex trap longs are down here. I still have that 69 pinned. Okay, that's not fresh, and it's been tested a couple times there. 68 still decent down here, very close to that orange monthly low range. Okay, but in the event that we don't break that Globex low, we do have a couple of inside the Globex trap, inside of the Globex high and low overnight sessions. We do have a couple of IBIs down in here. Now I want to be a little more safer here with y'all, so I'm going to kind of combine these two areas down in here. So call it one big level here, 71 to 70.50 in short. Okay, so this would be a decent little area. Now this is not a Globex trap long. This is not a trap. This is just a regular kind of demand zone area down in here. Okay, I'm looking at the time. I got 10 minutes before market open. I got so much to cover, so I'm just going to kind of treat y'all as adults and have y'all navigate the charts and drill down into this level here, level on level. Okay, so that comes in about what, 71? And 70.60. All right, Nasdaq's just popped new highs. If you're in that, I want to, you can maybe scale out some just a scalp. All right, I gotta move on here. All right, it'll be interesting to see if right above 73 for a liquidity sweep up. All right, well, I already mentioned that. I already have the note there. All right, I would love for it to pull back first before we go up. This level right here on the small time frame was good because we have VWAP right there. So this one was a nice little snag if anybody caught that. It's IBI right here. All right, that's VWAP. We could come down. Don't chase oil, that's for sure. Yeah, don't be patient. All right, don't FOMO, fear of missing out. All right, be patient. We could come down and test VWAP again. We barely touched this level, so aggressive. This could be aggressive right here. 71, call it 70. Okay, this level right here. And we have VWAP on the 200 period moving average right here on the small time frame to give you some confluence. If not, 71, good to go. All right, down in here. All right, I gotta move on. All right, I gotta move on. All right, 71.70. 71.70. 71.70. All right, moving on here. VIX, volatility index, not enough time to explain. You know, flat, slightly down. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low. You know, we're painting a 15, 16 sub VIX. You know, so markets are fairly just calm. Okay. I want to map out the overnight high, overnight low inside VIX as well. VIX overnight low here, VIX overnight high here. If VIX up, market typically down. If VIX down, market typically up. Inverse correlation. So I usually map out kind of the range, the mid-range, the above overnight high, see if it sustains that, and below Globex low to see if we trend and sustain below the overnight low. Okay, so VIX is my barometer. Okay, SPYs, pre-market quote. There's a couple other things that we do here regarding options, but I don't have enough time for that. Pre-market quote right now, 570.74. Okay, you're showing VIX at 70.92. Are you looking at futures? Are you looking at futures? I mean, what coins? Futures might be a different price if you're in a different expiration. But right now, spot is showing me 1570. Apple, so I'm sorry, Qs. We already covered the Qs just a little bit there with that illustration. Yeah, VIX futures, Terry. Hey, you're Terry, my man Terry. Yeah, so you're in the futures. So yeah, yeah, it's going to be you know, a different. The spot's going to be different than the futures price. If I, you know me, if I had more time, I'd explain in more detail, brother. But we got 5 minutes before open. You know the deal. Yep, no problem, brother. You know I got you. Qs, QBQs. You know, this level. Interesting, right? Today's quote, pre-market quote, I should say, slight gap up. I do and am referencing this hammer bar that was Friday as well, right here. So in the event that, you know, the point that the sellers or bears coming into the supply zone try to push it down, but they just can't sustain. Okay, they just can't sustain it down so far. Okay, so Friday was a hammer bar. Yesterday was just a slow, like one of the lowest volume traded days in SPYs in Qs since 2004. Nuts. So like low volume. All right, we had one of the biggest options expiration dates last Friday, September. $5.3 trillion rotated. And then Monday morning was just one of the lowest volumes that we've seen since 2004. Okay, so you know I study intermarket flows and things like that. Will be on the scope of a free 1-hour session on YouTube. But all right, you know if the sellers are going to show up, they're not here. They're not here. Okay, and even if they are here, they get steamrolled. So this hammer bar, if we sustain above this hammer bar, okay, you know, and we continue, you know, we could just be grinding these shorts up. Okay, there could be some liquidity squeezing up here. Now, just because you know this might not happen just in one day. right? It could, that'd be awesome, but just remember it could liquidity sweep, it could play around. It's only Tuesday, albeit, right? It's only Tuesday morning. So we still have all week, and then we have one day, I think next Monday, I think is the last trading day of September, right? So again, I'm gonna have more time tomorrow with the group, the official group at Phantoms. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that. Apple, psych app up. All right, Apple has been, respecting this supply. Okay, but just be careful with this. Still macro picture uptrend. All right, yesterday's high, yesterday's low, yesterday's close here, slight gap up here. Inside gap, still inside gap, but a little bit of a pain gap. Amazon, I'm long Amazon. All right, I took some good profits on Amazon yesterday. Okay, so hopefully y'all did too. We had a swing trade set up from what, maybe like last week, 2 weeks ago, give or take, some over here. Okay, positive COG, and went on a profit taking campaign on this. I'm still long this. Okay, my next target, I think I haven't mentioned to the group, is going to be up here. So if Amazon gets up to the 195 and 196, handle up here, okay, I'm going to be taking some profit. As far as today, slight gap down, no big deal. So Amazon is still in play because we finally broke out of this level, being here. We had a couple of basing candles, small body range. You just have to be patient with your trade, right? I know a lot of folks are like, "Oh man, Amazon, what is it doing?" It's like, just relax. All right, you need to be happy. You need to be patient with your swing trades. All right, it's not breaking structure. It's just the markets are just calm right now. Okay, Amazon, right? Small body range here, small body range here. Wiki, and then finally, boom, we had a fakey breaky, boom. See you later, new high, and take profit, right? So this morning, of course, Amazon could be in play. All right, just with the strength from the base break. Google, be careful with Google. It's been tricky. All right, I'd want to stay away from Google here today. If I have more time, I'll explain. Tesla, I'm long Tesla for my Phantoms. Okay, make sure you are taking profit. Okay, make sure that you are taking profit. On this, okay, I was loaded up on Tesla. I had like 3-4 expiration dates on this. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is I'm unloading or unloaded more of the closer ones expiration. I still have the January expirations, but I'm going to be going on a profit-taking campaign on Tesla today. And for you trolls out there, as you can see, I'm still in this. Okay, January 17th. All right, doing pretty well. Bought these options for what, $8, $7.60. They closed yesterday at like $12, give or take. So, good job there. Just, holding that and sticking to the plan on a swing. Today, want to be a little careful off open for the day trade, just because now we have move up, gap up. Okay, this is going to be good. I don't have to be so insane trying to catch the continuation move up because I'm still on the swing. Okay, but I'm actually going to be, right, notice what I'm doing. I'm long, and as we are moving up, I'm taking profit, selling to exit, right? Does that make sense? So think about what I'm doing. People who are already long in for the swing trade, okay, want to realize gains as we got our nice move up, right? Tesla from this inside bar break, okay, is up pretty significantly, right? Nice little 15, 17 point move, 20% move, give or take, depending on where you guys got in down here with me. All right, so that's good. We got to realize some gain, and just look left, we got some stuff over here. Now, I'd be careful with shorting this too, right? Because right now Tesla is in a squeeze right now. Okay, so I'd be more of a be careful kind of day trader getting long up here. Okay, because there's going to be some selling to exit distribution, and I want to be a cautious short up here too, just because we are actually in a squeeze. So I got us in a good situation here because we are in on the swing, profiting on these new highs, and then we are in control, taking profit as Tesla is coming up higher. Okay, does that make sense? Maybe yeah, maybe no to some. All right, we got markets opening up pretty soon. AVGO, I'm still long on this as well on a swing trade. Same thing, I'm going to be taking some more profit. Okay, for my Phantoms. Okay, and here today, AVGO still has some room. There might be some liquidity sweep up here. So AVGO, no gap today, which is good because now it's just fair trade. Yesterday's close was beautiful, and so we might be able to punch higher on AVGO out here today. Meta, probably arguably one of the most easiest swing trades that I missed. The 550 handle, I had mentioned that the options flow was coming in there. Okay, but just be careful. Right now, Meta's at all-time highs, right? Slight gap down. Microsoft, I'm in Microsoft as well. I did a little trade on this, for this Friday's expiration. Okay, I'm a little bit early on it. We'll see. I'll get to that in a moment. Nvidia might be worthwhile, and AMD might be worthwhile to pay attention to for the remainder of this week. A lot of options, money flows have expired for last Friday, which kind of opened up the gate for Nvidia to potentially cut to slice higher. Okay, so Nvidia has been quiet and it's been in a pinch. Okay, for a couple of days now. All right, but keep an eye on this. Okay, yesterday was a little doji bar. We're already trying to break above yesterday's high, so Nvidia is kind of on the list here today. this morning. ARM, I'm in ARM as well. Not worth our time or anything right there. I don't really see anything special. All right, market just opened up. Let me just check VIX. Apple's on the radar. Quiet right now, VIX. Advanced declines, positive 700, not extreme. Vol-D, volume up versus down volume on NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, slightly higher, not extreme. I'm just looking for extreme measures and nothing quite. So advanced declines gapped up, but not extreme, kind of fading down a little bit, very early on that. All right, cool. So just follow the tape. All right, you can see for you Tesla folks, okay, these contracts just exploded up here. I'm gonna take some more profit, okay? I'm gonna take profit with y'all live here. All right, for my phantoms, take some profit on these contracts here, on the swing. This ding right here is realizing some gains on the January contract. Okay. All right. Let me take it in my other account as well. I do this on in 2 accounts, with 3 accounts if you include this little baby account here. All right, just realizing some gains. As I mentioned, I put that notation in the communications as well with Phantoms chat. All right, cool. Anyways, moving on. That was a swing, but wanted to make sure. XOM, pretty interesting because oil is in more of a stronger sector just for today, this morning. XOM had a nice positive COG yesterday. Now, XOM has been very rangy. But let me see, AMD might be a bit more better here. All right, AMD and NVIDIA, those are on my radar here this morning. AMD is actually already clearing yesterday's high, getting above here. So getting above the doji bar from 2 days ago here. So I'm fixing AMD long call here. Okay, AMD long call. Day trade. Go to September 27th expiration, all good there. And let's see, what are we trading at on AMD 158 handle? So if I were to pick up, say, the 160, it's going for about $1.90.89, what have you. If you want to pick up the 162 half, that's a little bit more lower out there, lower delta. I want to be a little careful with that one. That might be a little bit too far out. So if I pick up the 160 strike, those are going for about $1.90 here. If I'm wrong on this, let me put some stop loss management on this. If we were to fill the gap and break this lower range yesterday below 200 pair moving average here, stop loss would be 155.59. $155.59. Let me just see what that looks like. 155.59. If I were to buy these for about $1.75-ish, give or take, I'm risking about 70 cents, 75 cents, because I want to round up. Okay, I want to round up with some theta decay. So it's about $75 risk if you buy this for $1.75 right now on this little VWAP test. I would like to see this more of a closed positive COG here. Okay, but we got a little bit of a pullback. I'm going to pull the trigger on this. Okay, stop loss 155.59, risking about 70, 75 cents. Okay, long call AMD, and that's going to be the 160 strike. Okay, just put order out. Let's see what I get filled at here. I got filled at 185 for the 160 strike. Come on, take a swim. Here we are. All right, moving on. Let me see what else I see here. Having the fall through. Tesla trying to squeeze more. AVGO. Long run swings on this. Wide range bar on AVGO on the 5. Let's see. I'd like to see NVIDIA take out yesterday's high with more aggression here. IWM. Google, want to be careful. Google today. SPY's not doing much. Microsoft pushing down. All right, I got these. I picked up some Microsoft calls for 50 cents yesterday. Those are floating down. It's all good for this week's trade. I know I was early on them. Amazon, just make sure, I mentioned to the group, take profit on Amazon up there. All right, pullback imminent. Tesla, wow, continuing to squeeze. All right, NVIDIA is giving us something here. All right, NVIDIA long call. Let me just make sure, however, we're trying to take out yesterday's high on this. Yeah. NVIDIA, because of the way the formation is, and due to the options expiration, if this would be at a rotation here, this could be some legs here for a swing, not just a day trade, but a swing trade as well. Okay. So you might want to be working on NVIDIA, not only just for the day trade here that I'm going to pull a trigger on, but also for the swing. So I'd be okay with even holding these, even for this week, just on the September 27th there. However, I would want to do an official kind of swing trade to get more longer dated expiration on these. So NVIDIA long call for the day, 118 albeit, okay? You can even hold these for the week. And then what I meant in English, for a swing trade, you kind of want to have more time till expiration. Okay, so let's cross this bridge first, okay? And let's pick these up here. I'm gonna pick these up, 118 strike here. They're going for about a buck 87. Like I said, I'm personally gonna hold these. If we can hold above yesterday's high with this hammer bar from yesterday, off this 20 period moving average, this is game for a swing as well. Okay, but first let me pull the trigger for the day trade here. Excuse me. All right, so the 118 strike call, just bought these for 195 NVIDIA. All right, stop loss for the day, about call it 115.85. But like I said, I'm gonna be looking to carry this over into a swing as well. All right, we'll see. Now it's very early in the day, right? So for the swing, I have time for the swing trade to kind of like work on what strike price, what expiration date, all that kind of stuff, right? You just don't want to jump in and guess what an expiration date. There's a whole process and rhyme and reason of what we do that's beyond the scope, because I got 5 minutes left here. All right, but stop loss 115, call it 85-ish. What does this look like just for the day? 115.80. All right, market's pulling back a little bit there, no big deal. Well, another what, 75, 80 cents. So AMD and NVIDIA, very similar in terms of risk. Okay, I guess if I bought these for 195 and I guess stopped out at 115.85 down here, okay, just giving us some space. Okay. All right, obviously I'm gonna trail up and things like that, but we'll see. Got a nice little pullback into VWAP. Tesla. All right, Tesla new high, coming up deeper into supply. So again, I am going to take more profit. My Phantoms, I'm gonna take more profit on this Tesla. Okay. Monster trade. Okay. All right, beautiful squeeze in Tesla. All right. Look, I'll even take profit in this account here too. Right, live account. No kind of BS here. And I just messed this up. Netflix, I can't stand trading, day trading Netflix. But swing trade Netflix is beautiful. All right. Criticals and order sell. And filled that. All right. I'm still holding the Januaries on some, but I'm just unloading. All right. I'm happy that I got to do that with some of the Phantoms team and got that on recording for y'all as well. All right. So just make sure. Okay. And if you're ordering for the day trade as well, off this positive COG here, make sure you TP'd, okay? So I'm just making a notation here. All right. You know, unloaded, still in, unloaded the swing calls for January expiration. That's what I'm working on right now, right? All right, beautiful. Nice swing trade. Netflix, let's see, Netflix, all-time highs. Netflix is annoying when it gets to all-time highs because there's just a lot of liquidity here, so just be careful with that, just in my humble experience. All right, but don't get me wrong, it is, you know, it's setting up decently on the higher time frames. Of course, monthly, weekly, daily, it can, and the 60 and the 30 is looking good too. Now, Netflix could be a bit more expensive, so I want to be careful, especially because, you know, I got a 60-second warning here. So the last thing I want to do with y'all here is open up a Netflix trade and then I'll help you manage it. Okay? So yeah, it is giving you a setup, albeit. Okay? Let me see. AMD did make new highs, didn't take profit on that, but we'll see. Actually, Netflix is actually one of the more better setups. Let's see. I want to be careful with this one here for y'all, but yeah, just be careful with it. It's setting up, don't get me wrong. But Netflix could be a bit of a beast. Okay, well, unfortunately, my timer's up. So just be patient on the day trades here. As mentioned in the pre-market routine, the markets are kind of, you notice the candles that are being developed here. Okay, they're very small bodied. They have wicks above and below. So again, markets are at all-time highs. So, right, it's tough because at any moment we could just pop another new high, right? And it's tough to short because you're going against you're trying to short this market, and that has not been a great trade for a long time now. Okay, so it's always tough. So let this market kind of like base out a little bit here. All right, we got weekly VWAP. We also have news coming out in 15 minutes, right? Remember that? Okay. Remember that? All right, so you might just want to be patient, pull your VWAPs, and let the trades develop. Okay, we got some swings that are really cranking out and doing good, so that will keep you calm, cool, collected, and wait for the tape to develop and pull the trigger. Okay, in short, Google, AMD new high. I'm not Google, NVIDIA. NVIDIA AMD looking good for even a swing, okay? Even for a swing. All right, so I'm gonna be working on that in a moment. All right, AMD made new high here. Premiums are not cranking that much, all right? But yeah, equal to a new high. We're gonna be taking some profit on NVIDIA. Just make sure you always look left, right? So we do have a couple of levels here to the left. 159.27 on dailies, and then we have this daily high 162. So if NVIDIA continues to make higher highs here, make sure you're taking some profit, okay? And like I said, NVIDIA, you see Apple. No follow through. All right, for the swing on NVIDIA, I would say longer expiration date as well. All right, but NVIDIA and AMD kind of just hanging around. NVIDIA trying to flirt with new highs there. All right, but so far to this week, the story is, for equities at least, Tesla squeeze, which we gobbled all up here, so. Anyways, I'm not trying to toot my horn there, but that's it. I mean, that's all I see really, for right now at least. All right, folks, that's it. If this is, at least for the time that I have right here, I'm going to go and, of course, continue to trade and be diligent. We got news in 12 minutes. Hey, Sean, I see you, brother. I saw your note as well. Yep, I see you, my friend, Sean Callahan. It's all love, brother. Happy to help you. I know what learning this business is like. And so, and I know what it feels like when you found a real trader, and believe me, I get it. But I'm a real one, I got you, and just continue to stay disciplined, learn every single day, get better, all right? And then one day you will have people years later, potentially, depending on where your journey is, thanking you for helping them as you get to a higher level in trading and investing. Gotta give back. Folks, I gotta go. I'll see you soon. Trade safe. Stay close to the chat for my phantoms. I got a couple of theses that I want to throw at you here, but I want to make sure that I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's, making sure the risk is all checked out and it's a qualified setup. Okay, not just rushing into anything. And then yeah, that's it. I'll see some of y'all in class later today, and then God willing tomorrow morning trade room as normal broadcasting. If this is floating your boat, okay, maybe this is making sense. Maybe it's not, and it's okay if it is. It's okay if it isn't. TradePhantoms.com is the place to hit. TradePhantoms.com. Okay, we have workshops there. Just if you hit register, the next one is going to be this Thursday, September 26th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There. Okay, you can type in your email name, right? You get sent the link registration-wise. Okay, and then you'll learn what Phantoms is all about from top down first and foremost. Hosted by Mr. Black and Mr. Green. But also, in addition to that, how markets really work from professionals. All three of us there are professional traders. Okay, how to analyze it, how to analyze demand and supply, institutional demand and supply. Okay, multi-directional trading, up, down, and sideways, even with options. Okay, you can make money even the market's kind of going sideways, grinding sideways with options. Okay, and if you're just starting out trading a small account just for some income, that's cool. All the way up into, we have Phantoms members that are, not to bring age into it, but closer to the retirement age, and they're looking to manage their retirement and generate income and wealth management, and that's okay too. Okay, so it's kind of a one-stop shop for all, right? There's a big community there. And yeah, it's not just about stocks, it's about stocks, futures, forex, options, even crypto as well. Okay. Oh, by the way, IBIT, IBIT, the BlackRock iShares ETF for Bitcoin has been approved for options. Major win for crypto. Major win for crypto. So the ETF came out. IBIT. There's already been an ETF for Bitcoin, BITO, BITO. But then last year, as we all should know, or at the beginning of this year, I should say, we had a couple of other ETFs that came out. The big one being the BlackRock ProShares IBIT, IBIT. And the point that I'm trying to make is that just got passed for allowing options to be issued on that ETF. So major win, major win. Now we are going to have the ability to trade options on IBIT, which is amazing, right? I'm excited. So anyways, there you go. There's my little TED talk for the end of here. And God bless. Take care. I'll see some of y'all today and tomorrow morning, God willing. Blue out.